Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now, I don't normally do a bulk intro for my monthlies. I normally just dive straight into my waffle. But if you've been following this channel, then you're well aware that the month of January I've been mainly offline due to technical issues. Let's to put it mildly. My laptop completely, well, not completely, but practically melted down. I've had to rebuild it. So yeah, so I'm finally back up and running now that we've just passed the full moon in Leo. So I missed the new moon. I missed the full moon. I missed the Mars square Uranus and the Mars square, the Great Conjunction activation point, which I have a note about. If you saw my show with David Fisher, the astrologer, when we did the 2020 season finale, we was talking about the astrological associations with the Great Conjunction, obviously. And David asked me if I had anything in my comics astrology, because he knows that's something I like to look into, the charts of fictional characters, because fiction has a huge purpose and force in our life. I mean, look what's happened this month. Fiction is powerful. And I came up with the Neptune of a obscure, or then obscure, Superman villain Dominus, who on the day of the January the it was the 6th, wasn't it? And the invasion of the capital and the Mars square Uranus and the Mars square, the conjunction, grand conjunction point. Dominus, not seen for 22 years, suddenly makes a reappearance in DC Comics in a new universe defining series after they've just rebooted their continuity once again. So I was right. I've no idea what I was right about, but I was right. So if you're watching this for tarot, we'll get to that in a moment. Obviously, the reading is for the sign that's in your title. I will try and get as many of these uploaded as fast as possible and filmed as fast as possible. I advise that you watch your sun sign, your rising sign, and your moon sign. They might not all be there. If you're early in the Zodiac, the others might not be up yet. But if you can only watch one, watch your rising sign. That I feel is if you know it, then that's the most important one to look at. Of course, there is a link in the description below to get yourself a free birth chart from Cafe Astrology or AstroSeek. AstroSeek's my favorite. And if you want to contact me, there's a link down there for the Facebook page for this channel. So it's got an inbox. You can contact me there for a private reading. Obviously, it's a general reading, so don't live your life by it. Listen to the words, see if they work for you, and then have a think about them. Because, as I say, I was offline for all of January, but I also partly got through the guidance, the intuition, because I'm about to use the word twice, the intuition that it's okay, because there's been so much going on in the sky, and let's face it, down on the face of the planet, that I got the feeling that we'd had enough guidance for a while. It was time for us to make our own decisions about things. And that's what I think this full moon has been about it looking at the full moon and the various angels associated with the positions of the planets. Most of them appear to be associated with new moons and full moons coming up later this year. It's almost like that full moon in Leo was defining something about the rest of the year. A lot of the astrologers are saying, and I haven't shared their videos yet on my Facebook page, but I'll get around to it, I hope. A lot of the astrologers are saying that this full moon is the completion of, or even acknowledgement and completion of, healing work that we've already been doing with all the astrology over the past few months. I think that's fair enough, because I got this real sense of new beginning, but it's not a new beginning out of nowhere. It's a new beginning based on getting to that level, like I'll say about the Page of Wands, level 1 complete, level 2 starts here. So I apologise for not doing the new moon and full moon readings. I did loads of work on the full moon to try and work out all the ins and outs of it, and then the computer just still let me down. I'm not sure if I even dare say I plan to live stream, because every time I say that, my computer packs up one way or another, and we are about to head into a Mercury retrograde. In fact, that might be today or tomorrow. Oh no, tell a lie, it's on the 30th. But anyway, that's enough waffle out of me. Like I said, general reading rules apply. Roles can be reversed. Timing's far from absolute. And I've waffled quite long enough. So hit that like button, as Philly D says. Subscribe, because it does help the channel. And sit back and enjoy your reading. All right. Okay, Aquarius, before we dive into the cards, what I'd like you to do, and I'd normally say this in the introduction, but I forgot in the video, is ask a question. So take a moment, think about all of the questions that are around you, and focus upon one of them. But be aware of all of them, because the cards will answer what they want. But focus on one of them. It gives energy to the process, and then hopefully I will return that to you in the reading. It gives some context for my style of general reading, because when all said and done, it's a general reading. So the other thing is, just before I crack on to the cards, since you're here, Aquarius, I'd like to recommend another tarot reader called Diamond in the Rough. Hopefully I'll remember to put the link in the description. Diamond in the Rough specialises in Aquarius, so it should be something that is quite useful for you. She's got a different style to myself, but I would definitely like to recommend her. Right, let's dive into the cards. I assume you've asked your question by now. So, you've already undergone some form of transformation, Aquarius, which figures with the previous readings that we did towards the end of last year. And this was fueled by your own sense of needing to change things, needing to crumble structures that are around you, needing to break things that are around you, and take pot luck onto gaining a whole new life around you. Because you had undergone that personal transformation, something which you'd been nurturing for a while, and you nurtured yourself. The best way to nurture yourself was to go through this transformation. You were victorious on that. But now I feel that some information, possibly something from the past, but some information seems to have come to you, some offer that seems to have come to you that has pinged your intuition and driven you to feel just a tad defensive. However, you have set yourself up a firm base with there's good material and community support around you at the moment for you to move on. So I don't know whether this Page of Wands and the Fool, this wanting to this feeling defensive might be a hangover from previous experiences. I'm not entirely sure that it is warranted at the moment, although there may well be some form of debate and discussion going on. Now this Three of Swords beneath your feeling defensiveness means that transformation that you went through, to be quite honest, you are still going through it. You have not yet finished. We have the Fool card here, as there's yet more new beginning energy going on. But it also means that if you totally... Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be careful. Of course you should be careful. But there's reasonable caution, and then there's tripping yourself up because you're being too careful. Because one of the oracle cards is saying, step out of your comfort zone. You are more resilient than you are aware. So this message that has pinged your intuition and gone, oh, I can see this row that's coming, which is here, Five of Wands. There's an argument going on, whether it's within you or around you. But the results of this argument, if you play your cards right, can be a sense of wish fulfillment. I almost feel that there is an element of um, that you could welcome this argument if you get yourself into the right headspace, because it's about time this topic was discussed. It's about time that people, whether this is people in your life or people on a more general level, were talking about this issue. But I'm really pleased with the 5-5, even though it's 5 of Wands, 5 of Pentacles. That 5 of Wands, although it traditionally represents arguments, debate, and I want to say more debate than arguments, I'm feeling that it's particularly constructive. There's a sense of construction with this 5 of Wands, and a sense of teamwork that's going on as well. So there is a matter of exploring all of the options. There is a matter of, because there was a Wheel of Fortune somewhere, I forget where it is right now, but there is this debate that immediately maybe wants you to, you feel like you want to shy away from it. Don't, because there's something you can contribute here. There's something that you can add to this discussion. It's something that you have been working towards for quite some time. Now, the thing is, in this discussion, you're going to be a lone voice. You are going to, we have the One Ring Circus here. But with that 9 of Cups also underlying this debate, this discussion, this sense that you wanted this to be talked about, do not for one moment think that your viewpoint is invalid because you're the only one saying it. You're applying some form of innovation. You are applying some new, if somewhat youthful, insight into whatever this debate is. But it is something where it's going to take time. And the seeds that you sow now, because we have, here, Achaya, patience, and also Remph, the angel of time, which indicates a longer term process is going on. However, Remph also implies that all things burn away. And so that could also include the sense of resistance, because you feel like here that you are without guidance, that you are without resources. You are not without resources. The doorway that's blocking you, you can just walk through if you overcome this protective urge and actually, like it says here, step out of your comfort zone. Because, yeah, you're going into unknown territory, not being able to see where you're going, 2 of Swords on the bottom of the deck. But you're not going to lose anything of value, 5 of Cups here. And the 3 of Cups is showing me that there is support around you, just as there's teamwork in this debate. So I don't think that this debate is, I mean, everything can be so polarized. Certainly people are in the habit of being polarized at the moment, but I don't think you can apply that, because you do believe that you have leveled up and that you are in a new beginning. So full energy here as well as in the current, but the world isn't looking quite like you expected it to once you've done that. And that's okay, because I think you're having a greater say in what the world can be like, but that's not going to come immediately. That's not just going to, as above, so below, as within, so without, yes. But the 3D physical reality takes time to reflect those things that you are changing within yourself. You know, it takes time to actually put that imprint in, just like it takes time to update a game on a PlayStation, for example. And I'm assured by friends of mine it takes time. You know, I'm not really a gamer. But there is an area of your responsibility where your attention is being drawn to, and you are able to provide some innovation that will be listened to. Six of Wands here. And this, ow, just bit my tongue. This is all a process that is designed to be building up your strength, or for, it's not even building up. That's not even fair to say that, to help you demonstrate to yourself your strength. You know, because you get past that hopeless feeling of, I can't do this, I haven't got the resources for this, I'm being blocked, there is an obstacle in my way. With everything that you had going on before your transformation, you were pretty resilient then. How come you're not so resilient now? You are. Um, but there's an emotional resolution coming that you have to decide that you are going for. You have to grab it with both hands. As I say, it's an independent job that you've got going on at the moment. So it doesn't, there's nothing else that anybody can do to assist you. You either pick that key up and open the door, or you don't. And there's no reason why you shouldn't pick that key up. Just because you don't know where you're heading and where you're going into does not mean that you shouldn't actually go there. As it says, step out of your comfort zone. Because there are great benefits to be reaped. At the moment, you have set yourself on a path towards wish fulfillment, with this Nine of Cups underlying your current situation, which implies that you can get to the aim that you envisage, even if you don't quite know all the details, even if you don't know the ins and outs, because yeah, you've transformed and the world is different to what it was, but it's not the different that you wanted. No, that's because there's still work for you to do. And I have to say, I'm not so much of a new age woo-wooer that I'm saying that that is all internal work. You know, if there's people hungry in your neighborhood, you arrange the creation of a food bank or some such. Do you know what I mean? You do, there's physical actions here that you can take. But I don't think any of the obstacles that are here are anywhere near as severe as what they may first look like on first glance. Because you've gone into new territory before, and you doubting your choice somehow, because these two piles represent relevant past. So we have here the Chariot, the Lovers, Five of Pentacles. You made the decision to move into a new sphere of life beforehand, but you ended up a little worse off for it, or feeling a little worse off, a little persecuted, a little penalized. However, if you recall, that sorted itself out in the long term, and ended up giving you a lot more skill, wisdom, insight, notoriety. You know, that's one thing that I'm getting from that star card under there. So you had made the decision to make this transformation that you've undergone. You're going to a better place, come what may. You were deciding to head along for that. And you ended up there a little faster than you expected. And you were also following some form of own internal wisdom. However, you were also trying to conquer something. And I think maybe that conquering might be the bit that you're struggling with at the moment, because you're thinking, have I actually conquered it? Whereas what the impression I'm getting from this selection of cards is conquering what you wanted to do with it, or it's just resolving or letting go, you know, what you wanted to do with it. You know, okay, I'm going back to the hippie woo woo, I know, but I'm not sure that conquering it is necessarily the best attitude to grab on to this, because the conquering that you can do is a lot more subtle than that, and you do it with words, you do it with debate and argument, and I'm not saying like a massive argument. I'm saying putting the right bit of information into the right ears at the right time. Um, but we have a leveling up going on. Finally, this transformation, this whole new beginning. So, I mean, it's not a surprise that you're coming into a new beginning, is it, Aquarius? When this month you're going to end up with practically every planet, bar Mars and Uranus, in your sign. Well, and Pluto. Um, but also all those out of those every planets that remain, they're all squaring, by whole sign at least, Mars and Uranus. So there's going to be struggles that you thing with a square. I think it was Rick Levine that said a square is a tension that can be resolved creatively. And that creative energy is something you've got no shortage of with that star card there. So bringing us back to that believing in magic, whatever the challenges are at the moment, don't give up. Because, yeah, you started your transformation and it was a hell of a transformation. And it has not yet finished. It is still going on, still heading forward. You still need to decide to totally commit, but any battles that you may be facing, there's a point that you've already won, as long as you are operating to your own agenda and not operating to somebody else's agenda. Again, that sense of needing independence. The angel of faith. I have faith that goodness and joy are mine now and forever, which, coupled with Remph, the angel of time, indicates that, yes, these obstacles that you are facing, as this Five of Pentacles says, can all be resolved by you, by yourself. You're the one that can sort these out. So, going into an alternate, I always say that, potential future, sorry. Four of Wands, Eight of Cups, Two of Cups. How interesting. But I actually feel, you know how I was saying about the conquering, that there was something that you chose to conquer by your transformation, and I'm saying, is conquering the right thing to do? This Eight of Cups looks like it's a release of that conquering, because you're heading off towards something that you feel is far more important, something that brings you joy in committing to, something that Two of Cups here, so you can say, yeah, that's love. But it's also, especially with this Two of Cups, it's the creation by acting with another of something magical and special. And I'll bring you back to that card again about believe in magic. You are defining a whole new empire for yourself that you are committed to. Four of Wands again, with the Strength card again. But this one's a lot more cheerful than where's that other Strength card gone? This one, I find, is a lot more cheerful Strength card than this one. It's with the lemniscate, is it? The symbol of affinity, I think it's lemniscate. At the top, it's showing a sense of victory, a sense of victory with compassion, rather than, again, victory with compassion is very, very different to conquering. So if you've still got that conquering urge going on, it's more a chance to expand your realm, your empire, and to surge ahead with fire, for the way that you believe the world should be. It's commitment through joy that will actually help achieve this. Now, you're not going to see that joy in the time being, because, like I said, we've got all those squares going on and you've got all these planetary energies going on, but there is numerous victories, and each obstacle is one that you can solve yourself. So there seems to be a fear that the responsibility of all of this does fall on your own shoulders, which, with that Two of Cups set there, no, it doesn't. But you are, if you want to create a fire, you need a flame and you need tinder. probably not the best word to use nowadays, but fuel. Let's say fuel, a flame and fuel, or a spark and fuel. You are that spark. You still need the fuel, and someone else is going to provide that, so that between you, you can make the fire. It's not a responsibility that's all going to fall on your shoulders, because it has to be a teamwork thing. The only way it will be a teamwork thing is if you give up this conquering urge and go for the commitment through joy. But it is something that you have been working towards, and there is a fear that all your hard work will have gone to waste. No, it's not that all your hard work has gone to waste. It's just that all your hard work hasn't finished yet, because there's numerous obstacles that have to be dealt with, mainly by compassion rather than just conquering and hitting them with a big stick. So here at the end, you get to actually see the value in what it is that you have accomplished. You get to see the change that you have been requiring. But I think you will also change, because I think some of the things that you aim to accomplish now, you will accomplish, but then you'll go, did I really want to do that? So I'm a little, this particular Knight of Cups is like, this is a transient thing you're going through. This particular Knight of Cups is reminding me of wherever I saw that Eight of Cups. Is, yeah, I want to move on now. So again, saying that this whole process that you are going through now is a transient thing. You will gain the victory through commitment by joy, and strength with compassion, but that is still not the end goal, because by the time you get to that end goal, you're just like, right, what's next? Which is a really positive thing, because what you are trying to accomplish right now feels good, as long as you're not trying to conquer, and that you're not acting defensively, as in a self-defensively. There's a difference between defensively and protectively. Protectively is that added compassion element in, whereas defensively just is believing that you're under attack. And I don't think you're anywhere near as under attack as what you may be tempted to believe. It's just that, to start off with here, you're a lone voice in the wilderness, and therefore you have to wait for other people to join your chorus. You have to wait, being the spark, for someone to bring the fuel to you. But I really like this reading. This is definitely a to be continued sort of reading. Do you know what I mean? It's not one where there's a beginning, a middle, and an end, because we've started in a middle with the transformation that you've already been working towards. And even the very end of it is saying, yeah, there's more. There's more, always more. But there's such good omens on the path to discovering what that more is, because you've still got to accomplish what you wanted the end result of that transformation to be. But that's mainly because that transformation is still going on. So I hope that answered your question. If it means anything to you, please do comment down below. Obviously, like, share, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. But also go and visit Diamond in the Rough. She's a very different reading style to myself, so there should be something of value that you'll see there as well. Okay, go and watch your moon and rising sign. Cheers.